Hello everyone. I'm wondering if anyone will join me, so I'll wait just a few seconds or a minute or so. Today I want to talk about something that touches me personally. Perhaps I want to talk about two things that happened in the past 2 weeks. And that is, maybe you've heard of the Nashville Declaration. The Nashville Declaration is, from what I can understand, because I really didn't get into it, because on a personal level, hi Maureen, because on a personal level, declarations, dogmas, rules, they don't affect me anymore. It's like a water off a dove's back. It falls right off. So I didn't get into it. But from what I can understand, the Nashville Declaration is a body of organizations, churches got together and made a declaration about homosexuality, LGBTI, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, and today there's queer. And basically what was written in this declaration is that homosexuality is a sin, that it's intrinsically evil, that we must not, that the Bible says this and that. And it's the usual sing-song, which quite frankly I am tired of, to the point of not paying attention to it anymore. I mean, I went down that road a long time ago. And I didn't do anything about it. I didn't say anything. But recently, about 2 or 3 days ago, a certain Matthew Gregg, who put a post up on Facebook with Once Gay, Matthew Gregg and Friends. And this is a production. I don't know if it's a documentary, I don't know if it's a film, but it's about the ex-gay, he is ex-gay, and the title was How It Is a Must Stay Culture, which means the gay culture is a must stay. And once again, when I saw it, I thought, again, we've got the usual thing again. But I got curious this time, and I went into the site. I went onto his page, and I was alarmed. Up till yesterday night, there were 907 comments. 907 comments of pro and against. Now, and then I thought, should I say something? Or should I say stay silent? Because as I said, this does not affect me anymore. They can issue as many declarations as they want. They can produce as many films as they want. The Vatican make as many declarations as they want. The Orthodox Church can make as many declarations as they want. It doesn't bother me anymore. So I've become numb to it, and I live my life. I live it without anything on my conscience, without any shame. I'm lesbian, have been since my birth probably. And so, as I said, they can write whatever they want. But the thing is, I'm 51 now, and I went through that phase of using this Bible to bash myself up because I'm a lesbian. I used it mercilessly. It took me 25 years to come out of the closet because I was ashamed, because I was brought up with a belief that God was going to send me, "Good morning, Terry. Nice to see you." I'm just talking about the Nashville Declaration and the recently produced film by Matthew Grech, who's going to be launched in England. As I was saying, I was brought up Catholic, raised and baptized Catholic. So I took upon the beliefs that my parents passed on to me, that the church passed on to me, that the school passed on to me, because I went to an all-girl Catholic school. So I was brought up with the notion that I would grow up, get married, bear children, not have a job preferably, and definitely not be a lesbian. So up until I shook that belief, till I realized that they were their beliefs and not mine, they were passed on to me, it took me 25 years. And within that time, as I said, I bullied myself mercilessly, and I used this. I used the word of God. I used to go to church and not be able to look at the cross because I felt so much shame. So, but now it's past. But there are people still who, worldwide, who are being attacked, who are being bullied, who are being silenced, who have no voice, who are chucked out by their parents because of their sexuality. And why? Because their parents are religious, church-going, God-fearing people. And for that reason, I can't stay silent. I don't want to be silent. Because just because I'm all right, it doesn't mean that there aren't people suffering here. And it would be really easy for me now, in this moment, to do the same to Matthew Grech and his friends who are ex-gay, who are totally dedicated to Jesus Christ, and perhaps out of choice choose not to follow that life or have been actually converted. I could do the same. I could bash them up and say loads of things against them, but I don't want to do that. I just don't. I want to make I just want to make one thing clear and try to explain it. So now bear with me, because I'm going to give a bit of a psychology lesson. It's very simple. And I'm going to talk about beliefs that are passed on to us, and how we view everything with our own filters and experience everything from our own minds. Everything begins with us. So when we're brought up with certain beliefs, ideas, religious upbringing, and they become memories. They become part of our hard drive, part of our brain. And with our senses, all incoming information, we filter it, and as soon as we filter it, we refer to what has been registered, what has been recorded in our brain. So the only way we can look at things is through our eyes, only through our eyes. So I have one way of looking at things. I have one way of experiencing things. And this is not just the case for beliefs in homosexuality, transgenderism, whatever. It happens who likes chocolate ice cream, who likes planes, who likes traveling, who likes Christmas, who likes presents. It's all the same across the board. Everybody experiences everything from here, from the inside out. So basically what we're doing to one another when we try to convince the other person that they're wrong and I'm right, and I'm wrong and they're right, we're denying that, we're rejecting that person and their own beliefs. We're rejecting their right to their own opinion. And we're rejecting their experience of life and how they should live. And in this case, being a lesbian or not, acting it out or not, living it or not. And we're still, to prove ourselves right, in any instance. Now, I could try and prove myself right. I could say, listen, this was written by people, written in the same way by human beings, who have had the same faculties we had. They could only write what made sense to them then. And for some, this makes sense. For some, this makes sense to apply it and to use it. But to use it to shame and to judge others is a whole other ball game. It causes harm. So, I'm not sure if my message is clear. We live in separate worlds, in separate identity, in separate realities. My sister was really good yesterday, how she described it. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody sees things differently. Why can't I respect your opinion? If I respect your opinion, I'm seeing you as a human, I'm seeing you as a whole. You don't have to be like me, and I don't have to be like you. And ultimately, can I say I've lost my Catholic roots? Well, I suppose. I've been in the Netherlands for 10 years. Has the Netherlands got anything to do with it? No. Yes and no. Life experience has taught me that, and from some very, very wise, lovely woman that I spent time with, is that every single human being on earth is a source. Thank you, Terry. The same. I love and respect who you are, Terry. I don't think I would be here talking if you hadn't coached me. And if you hadn't said what you said over a year ago. Every human being is born from the same source. Now, some will say they are a child of God. Some will say they are a child of the universe. Some will say they are love. Whichever way you put it, however way you describe it, all that one source is love. So when I'm looking at an individual, in this case Matthew Grech, I'm also seeing a child of God, a child of love, a child of the universe, coming from the same place. And he chooses to live his life differently than others, and he has the right to do it. But so do we. So when I look at a human individual, it's really important to remember that one, they have the right to live in their own, they have the right to have their own opinion, and two, more importantly, they are within God. They are an expression of God. They are a manifestation of the universe. So for heaven's sake, whether you're pro, whether you're against, before trying to convince someone that they're right and they're wrong, remember that you're the same. One may be male and one might be female, but your source is the same. Energy, matter, and you've taken form. I think this is pretty much what I wanted to say today. My message is one of love. As I said, I could have come here and bashed Matthew Grech to pieces. I don't want to do that because Matthew is also is the same as me. All I'm asking is that we respect and love one another and let each other live as follow our own paths. Now, hi Fiona, do a gal a big favor. This is a message of love. I'd love this to be shared over and over and over and over again, just so that people can try and listen to one another rather than condemn each other, and not use this as their tool and power of bashing up. This says this, so you're wrong and I'm right. Love is always right, not this. And this is a book of love, not bashing up other people. I thought it didn't affect me anymore. It does. It does. Ladies, am I running a workshop soon, darling? No. I'm running a, not a work. Oh, you mean my online program? Online program, Born to Shine, yes. I think this program of mine, Born to Shine, is born from the very fact that I bashed myself up for so many years. And when I realized that the biggest gift I could give to humanity, to the world, is to love and respect the person that I am and to embrace myself completely, which means my sexuality, everything. So my mission is to help people to realize that they were born to shine, not to hide, not to cower, not to be afraid of their sexuality, not to be afraid of who they are, but to show up in all their glory. I'm getting old. In all their messiness. We owe it, not just to ourselves, because if we do it for ourselves, we will be helping the whole world. It's a ripple effect. Because if I start to feel okay, if I start to allow my well-being to come forth, the people around me will start to feel it. And they'll start to ask you as well, what the hell are you drinking? What have you been drinking? I want some of that. I want to feel good. I want to be able to be who I am. I want to share myself in whichever way I show up. So, this Born to Shine online program will start on the 18th of February on a Tuesday. It will run for 6 weeks, and I have 6 modules packed with a lot of amazing stuff. I've watched my clients blossom. I've watched a particular client have a huge impact on her family, and less shy, allowing herself to be, and allowing her children to be. Some of the to name a few of the modules, one is the power of thought, relationship to self, relationship to others, beliefs, which is the cause of a lot of conflict in ourselves and with others, and much, much more. But I will also be having a weekly conversation, and that's where the magic happens. Right, Fiona? Where the miracles happen. So, the price for that is, for the early bird, is €181.50 sterling, sorry. And if you book in after January, then the price will go up. Hit me in a message if you'd like to join. But apart from this, please share this message, because this is a message of love, acceptance, tolerance, and seeing that we are all coming from the same source, which is love. Ladies, thanks for joining me. Thanks for keeping me company. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.